I want every one of you to remember these three words. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeasterners and Southerners, we cannot become. And Biafrans, we must be.
A servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Please, kindly like and share this program to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. This information is coming to you from the platform that is under the United States of Biafra. The United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Please watch closely to the video I'm about to play when we'll talk about the irredeemable situation of Nigeria. Some of you do not understand. Simply because we are commenting on the social media, you don't believe us. But I want you to get information that are coming from their conventional media. The irredeemable situation of Nigeria is overwhelming, and the end of the zoo has come. It doesn't matter what you think about it. It doesn't matter what you believe. The truth remains that Nigeria has ended and there is no going back. Wherever you are as a Biafran, the earlier you begin to support the independence of the United States of Biafra, the better for you. And if you are from other regions, the earlier you begin to support your own region, the better for you.
Remember, there's another conversation on the table, and it is that Ojo Okalo has blamed political elites as the mastermind of terrorism in Nigeria, Boko Haram in particular, and that is for political gains. What's your reaction to that?
Mr. Okoro,
do you agree with OUK?
A time will come when I will not be answering questions from some of those characters you mentioned now. Please. A time, I'm not joking, no, because I don't know why somebody will create a problem and he will bring me here to be analyzing the problem he created. These are not Jews or Okalo who's supposed to be in jail by now. You and I know that. Is he supposed to be talking and saying things that I should come and be discussing? No, on a more serious note, should all the Okalo, if he has shame on him, does he have the temerity to be talking the way he's talking? This is the man who should be serving jail time.
Barrister, this is the person that represents me in the Senate.
Oh, he's your brother?
Yes, he represents me in the Senate.
No wonder the snake is long.
Okay. Now, Barrister, the point he has made is that, look, we have politicians that are sponsoring terrorism and that they are doing it for political gain. Do you agree with him?
I disagree because he's part of the problem, Mr. Okoro. Your brother is part of the problem. Why did people caution him? You saw how we ran Abia State to ground. Should such a man be talking? Hold on. Didn't you hear from the northern leader that insecurity is caused by poverty? When you impoverish your people, are you not the one calling for insecurity? And Ojo Okalo is one of them. How much was he alleged to have taken from Abia people? 6 billion plus. Is that not true?
But the court let him go.
Really? Yes. The court or APC let him go? No, the court jailed him properly. In fact, in the mind of Ojo Okalo, he is an ex-convict. He entered the jail. You and I know how he came out. When they wanted to save him, they now promoted the judge that passed the judgment.
But Barrister, can we leave the message and talk the messenger?
Look, in this particular case now, both the message and the messenger, they are all wrong. That's what people have been saying about
APC. So you believe that nobody is sponsoring terrorism?
What do you mean?
Politicians are not
They created it. They created it. They should not be come
out. Who created? Politicians or Nigeria?
No. The same APC, when they wanted to get power, what do we have it like this during the PDP, for God's sake? Was Nigeria like this? This is a question Nigeria should be asking APC. Did you meet us like this, APC? In 2015, was Nigeria like this, both in economy, both in insecurity, both in everything, both in democracy, both in politics? Was Nigeria like this? How come under APC this thing went berserk? So and you Nigerians are not asking them, take us back to where you met us.
So don't you think some individuals are, sponsoring insurgency to discredit this administration, to
are you serious?
Further discredit the administration?
You cannot feed them at Abi. Okay, hold on, no. Mr. Moses, you saw what is going on in Benue today. That is the food basket of Nigeria, confirmed. Am I the one to tell Tinubu what to do there? Please answer me.
Well, as it stands now, which of course takes us to our next conversation,
if it's opposition, please,
where the chief of army staff has relocated to that area to ensure that, anyway, that's another conversation we'll be diving into.
We have not finished this particular one, though. You are telling me if they are sponsored. So you know the sponsors, Abi, and you refuse to do anything. Please, that should not be my problem. Why should you open your mouth and say that some people are sponsored? So you cannot find out the sponsors, Abi? What are you talking like this, please?
Right, let's.
Oh, no. APC know that people are being sponsored. They know the people, and they refuse to do anything. Is that my problem? Why are you in government? Is it not to secure life and property? Why you people just shifting blame to here and there? When you know the real problem?
No, we're asking the questions.
No, the question you ask me. In fact, you should take it to those people concerned, not me.
Yes, if we bring them on the show, we'll ask them.
They will not come. They will not come.
Why?
You and I know that. Because they cannot explain it. Telling me that some people are sponsoring. So you know the people. That was how Nuhu Rubadu told us that the equipment they bought for Nigerian military, the military and the police are selling to terrorists. Are you serious?
Let's move away from this conversation now. Let's get into another conversation. We'd like you gentlemen to stay with us, Chuka Nabife and Barrister Darlington Agumo. Communities cry for help as terrorists occupy forests, launch attacks, while army chief relocates to Benue to tackle herdsmen killings. Barrister, you don't think this is a laudable move that he is relocated? Well, we'll get your response when we come back from this break. Join us again.
All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The security situation in Nigeria continues to deteriorate as multiple regions face escalating violence. Well, in a decisive move to address the rising wave of killings in Benue State, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede has relocated to Makurdi, the state capital, alongside senior military officials. The move follows a string of brutal attacks by suspected headers and militia groups that have left scores dead, homes razed, and entire communities in fear. Over the weekend alone, 43 people were massacred in Gwe West and upper local government areas of Benue State just days after 42 others, including a mobile police officer, were killed in coordinated assaults. Oluyede has ordered the deployment of additional troops to the region and is expected to meet with commanders, visit attacked villages, and reassure residents of the Army's commitment to protecting their lives and property. There's been reports of kidnapping in the southeast of Nigeria, amongst many others. Meanwhile, in a fresh wave of terrorism has erupted in Kwara State, where a newly identified terror group, Mahmuda, has launched deadly assaults on villages in Baruten local government area. On June 3, Mahmuda insurgents killed 4 villagers in Karonji, Duruma, following the murder of 3 others earlier that day. The group has tightened its grip on parts of Kwara and neighboring Niger State, with reports confirming their control over communities near Kainji Lake National Park. Well, we still have in the studio here Barrister Darlington Agumo, and from Oka Outstation, Sir Chuka Onnabufe. We'll also be joined by Dr. Bright Onove Kuku, a medical doctor and public affairs analyst. Gentlemen, thanks for staying with us. Barrister Darlington, yes. Let me come to you now, because you raised the issue during the first conversation about insecurity. Now, what's going on in the Benue Plateau, in the Middle Belt? Looks like it's an issue of ethnic cleansing, more like genocide, some people have alleged, because it clearly, in terms of in terms of the physical and the intent, it's possible to establish all of that. Now, Nigerians are asking, why is it difficult for the government to stop this atrocious killing of fellow Nigerians, especially when we are told that it is foreigners that are behind all of these killings? Barrister, let's have your broad reaction.
Mr. Okoro, I will answer you with an example that happened, which you and I can identify. When Al-Qaeda was running riot all over the place, causing problems, and they mistakenly went to hit the World Trade Center in the US, what happened? Osama bin Laden was hunted down by the American CIA and their security force. Is that not true? Since that time till now, have you heard anywhere they mentioned Al-Qaeda? They degraded them. They made sure that they don't exist today. Is that not true? Today now, can any terrorist go close to American border, say they want to go and attack America? That means you would have written your will before coming to do such a mission. Today in Nigeria, you and I were here when these people were coming into Nigeria, when they were invited. Yet, nobody was man enough to ask these people, why did you invite terrorists into Nigeria? Is that not act of treason? Please answer me. These people, did they come here on their own? Were they not invited? They even complained that they had an agreement with Nigerians. Mr. Moses, listen very well. That Nigerians who claim to love Nigerians, patriotic politicians, went to sign an agreement with terrorists to come into Nigeria, that the jihad have started. And you are still discussing somebody relocated, somebody did not relocate. Who told you they want to solve the problem?
Okay,
these are just small screens.
Barrister, let's get as blunt as we can within caution, you know, in this conversation. Now, during the Buhari regime, you know, Nigerians were meant to understand that, look, that it was because Buhari was in power, in government, and he was unable to rein in his ethnic stock.
Good.
That is why these things persisted. And when the current president, who by the way is a Southwesterner, came into office, Nigerians more like heaved a sigh of relief.
Okay.
Unfortunately and curiously, we don't see these things abate. So do you have any explanation? Does it look like, you know, because during the Buhari regime, we had Northerners, you know, occupy the security architecture of this country. But now, those things have been moved. So do you have a problem with the Chief of Army Staff moving to location, you know, to site to ensure that these things end?
Mr. Okoro, if a man survives from sickness and his son die, that man is even worse off. If Buhari leaves office and you now have a Muslim ticket, what do you think they were doing? Or were you not aware that a Shetima was imposed on Tinubu as his vice? Are you not aware? Since it's a Muslim ticket, they ask yourself, why is it that it is Benue? Who are the population of Benue? Are they not mostly Christians and Plateau? You are still asking question, Abi? Why are they not concentrated in Buhari's own Katsina? Or Kano? Or Sokoto? No, answer that question.
Barrister, do you smell an agenda?
Either you know, you're asking me, you don't know.
No, we don't know. That's
either everybody knows. Don't run away from this. That's the problem with Nigeria. We run away from the truth.
No,
and that's why these guys have continued to do what they are doing.
Barrister Darlington,
yes?
Our job here is to you bring information to Nigerians. And
yes,
that's exactly
that
what
information, we have said it over and over again.
It's not for us to share our personal opinion.
Okay, fine. I am saying it now, and nobody has disputed it. Because what is going on in Benue is 100 times worse than what happened in River State before Tinubu declared state of emergency.
So you would
please,
want
my brothers here,
emergency.
what is stopping Tinubu from declaring state of emergency there? After 20 local governments out of 23 have been taken over by terrorists, and our farmers are now in IDP camp. Tomorrow you see, ask me, why don't we have food? You know the problem, you don't want to solve it every time. This one, is it the first time such a man has relocated to the theater of war? What happened? Please, what happened? It's just a small screen.
Okay, a smoke screen.
Yes, a small screen.
All right, let's bring other guests into the conversation as well. We do have Sachuka Nabife. Let's get your thoughts on this one. The relocation of the Chief of Army Staff. What are your thoughts? Now, I would like for you to marry that relocation to the fact that the Chief of Defense Staff has said, look, Nigeria needs to fence its borders because these insurgents will continue to enter, and we share border with people like Chad, Cameroon, Niger Republic, and the rest. Will fencing of the borders, well, he also cited Saudi Arabia as one of the countries that decided to fence its borders to protect itself from enemies outside. Do you think fencing our borders will be a solution to this problem? Or is this a wild goose chase?
It is actually the latter. Let me not waste your time. It's a wild goose chase. And how would that be a solution, Moses? How do you think that will be a solution? One is that we have not finished even one project as small and almost, we can say, economically contained as the Jakarta Steel. Now we intend to fence the borders of Nigeria. Do you know the distance we are talking about? Even America couldn't fund the fence. They are just fencing their border with Mexico. See, in 2011, I was in South Korea, and we also did, given the fact that we were guests of the state, we've taught some of the state facilities. And I remember asking one of the ministers a question about their volunteer service scheme, just like the NYSC will have here. They do it 5 years, and it is before you even go to immediately after college. Everybody in South Korea is security conscious. Every house in South Korea has a military trained citizens make themselves supporters, and that is our undoing. No, blame leadership on the leaders. The problems of leadership on the leaders. Tell them what they do. And when you begin to say we support, appear like we support this party or that, we will create a situation of partisanship, and eventually that will dog us. The problem with Nigeria is that we don't look problems and solve them. What is the General Olede going to Benue to do? You know who he is? Did you know his position? How many times have you had the people of his of the status as he is go to the descend as low as the local theaters?
But we have presidents, for example, Dr. Sachuka, we have presidents, go to the theater of war to also help to fight persons who are causing issues in their country. So why won't we have the army chief get to Makurdi to make sure that lives of Nigerians that were being lost on a daily basis in the cold hands of foreigners now are being stopped? So why can't he get there? If presidents of nations, sovereign nations, can go in to fight unscrupulous elements disturbing their nations?
Fina, let's break it down. This is not a president of a country. He is not. He is the principal man of our military, army particularly. This is different from an elected governor, elected chairman, elected president, or even appointed one. They are bound to go to their citizens when they have crisis to check and see what is happening.
Okay.
The military man is not.
All right.
And when he goes there, if he should go there, when he goes there, what his job should be? The military
Chief of Army Staff.
What he should go there to do is to discuss strategies and move on, because it is believed that he has commanders in the lower rungs of his commanding system that should be able to execute
so you don't think that his movement to Makurdi in any way is going to stop the killings of Nigerians in Benue State? Or do you think he's going to his relocation to Makurdi now will end the issue of killings happening in Benue State?
He's actually going to further ridicule the army. And he's going there. Remember, the report is relocating, not even going to...
Okay, Sachuka, I'd like for us to understand something. Now, between the leadership and the followership, who should actually drive the process of change? Because you said something about the leader should lead and the followers should follow. So between the leadership and the followership, who should actually drive the process of change in society?
Well, The process of change is, remember the expression, the people get the leaders they what? You understand? Okay. Or work for or create. The issue here is there are defined roles. The people who are the arrowheads of the aspiration of a people is within the masses, and that is the media. You and I, the mass media. You understand? They are the ones who articulate the yearnings of people, and they use it to needle the leadership. Why do you think APC succeeded in opposition? They were commanding the good presence in the media, in the newspapers, in the magazines, in the radio, in the television. Why do you think the current opposition is ebbing and floundering? Because they chose not to.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you very much, Sir Chuka Annabuife. We'll get your point. Please do stay with us. We'll come back to you in the course of this conversation. Now, let's go to Benin City, where we have Dr. Bright Onovio-Kuku, a medical doctor and public affairs analyst, standing by. Good morning to you, Dr. Bright Onovio-Kuku.
Good morning.
Okay. All right, Dr. Bright, I understand that yesterday was your birthday. Happy birthday from all of us here and from DOP. We'll give you our shout out. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, to the main conversation, you followed it. The issue of the Chief of Army Staff relocating to Benue State, to the theater of war, because it's more like it's become a killing field. But some people are saying, look, this is not the first time. The other time we saw the president call on the Minister of State for Defense as well as the minister to relocate to the northeast. And after like 2 or 3 days, 4 days, we didn't hear anything about it. And the problem there continues. So in your estimation, do you think that the Chief of Army Staff going to Benue Plateau is going to solve any problem? Is he going to look at it peripherally while the undercurrents are not clearly, the underlying problems, the root causes are not clearly dealt with? What's your reaction, sir?
Well, my take first and foremost is that issues of security are not what should be on the media. If the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff knows that he's going to Benue will solve the issue, it shouldn't be something that should be on the media. What we should be hearing is the fact that he has already gone. His presence changed a lot of things. Now there's no more killing in Benue. And when we're asking questions, we'll get to know that it was because he travels to that place. So this news-making thing is not a proper security issue. Somebody mentioned the issue of Osama bin Laden. Until Osama bin Laden was killed, the world did not know that they were embarking on that mission. Exactly. So why should the Chief of Army Staff make his going to Benue a public thing, a public discourse? If an ambush is not laid for him, what happens?
Dr.
So he
Bright,
should have gone there. Yes, sir.
Dr. Bright, don't you, there's something in military operations, there's something they call show of force. Don't you think the announcement that the Chief of Army Staff, is relocating to a theater of war would deter insurgents, make them feel jittery that, okay, this highly placed official is coming over, and also boost the morale of the soldiers? Don't you think so? The public announcement.
Like I said, issues of security are not things that should be in public display. To boost the morale of the officers and men on the field fighting, they know what and what to do. His presence, yes, may motivate them when he's talking to them, but putting it in the public, making it public, making it known to everybody, become a subject of discussion is not, because this has not happened. This has happened before. And it did not solve the solution. It did not give a solution to the problem that is on ground. So if he's strategic, he should quietly go there, do what he feels is better, what Nigeria needs. results.
All right then, results, of course. That's what Nigerians are asking for, and we'll do the much we can to continue to X-ray these issues and probably profess solution to those in authority, so they can make better choices. Now, let's talk about Orji Okalu. Let's talk about Orji Okalu's position that politicians are, sponsoring insurgency around the nation to discredit the administration of the Bola Tinubu administration. What are your thoughts about this one? Also, bearing in mind that in the past, we've seen a situation where Chadian authorities chased Boko Haram, defeated them, chased them into Nigeria, and it was just up to the Nigerian authorities to meet up with the pressure, and then the insurgents at the time will be wiped out. But unfortunately, Nigerian authorities failed. Could you help us examine all of it?
Well, we don't expect anything less from a politician like Orji Okalu, considering the fact that build up to 2015, before APC took over, today now they are like 10 years in administration. That build up, they came up with a lot of propaganda, said a lot of things that were baseless, which is not far from what they are saying. These are issues that they want to use to distract Nigerians from asking them or demanding from them the real dividend of democracy. If you say some persons are using insurgency or whatever, what did they use in campaigning? Is it these masses that they are trying to, that they expect to go and tackle that insurgency or whatever? No. Those who are crying, they know those who are in authority that should deal with it. So they should channel their cry, they should channel their voice to that area. Coming to the public to make public statements is of no issue. Orji Okalu has access to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He can go and discuss with him in a closed door. This is what and what the issue is. They know what and what to do.
But this is not the first time we're getting such a report, Dr. Bright. Even the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, also said that politicians are the ones also giving, intels to the Boko Haram insurgent group, causing mayhem in that state. I recall that when President Jonathan was there too, he also raised the alarm about having Boko Haram members within the cabinet. Now, what do you think now is that behemoth that is stopping the political elite in Nigeria from getting these individuals and dealing with them according to what the law said? Recall we have names given to them too. There was I think like 400 names made available by a foreign organization, later reduced to 14 or 16 names, and up until today we are yet to get anything out of that.
You say, Fina, who is in charge of Nigeria authorities? Is they not the same politicians?
Okay.
So they give them names. Were those names made public? No. They have those names. What did they do with it? To report to Nigerians. So if they are running sentiment because of their political ambition, then we should hold them accountable.
Okay. All right.
President Goodluck Jonathan once said, his political ambition is not worth the blood of one Nigerian. And he demonstrated it.
Yes.
All right then. Thank you very much,
And now we're
Dr.
having
Bright.
killings upon killings.
All right. Thank you very much.
And the authorities are crying to the masses. They should do something about it.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Brighton.
After watching this video, now you understand very well what we mean when we say that Nigeria is irredeemable. When we call for the disintegration of Nigeria, you will now understand. There is no plan and there is no way Nigeria will survive in the dish that it is today. And Nigeria continue to deepen into more failure, into more disaster, into more insecurity, and into more economic instability. the earlier we begin to think wisely and focus on the solution, which is disintegration, the better for all of us. It is not a selfish request. It is not just about the Biafran. It is about humanity. If you want to save humanity, you must support the disintegration of the contraption called Nigeria. Divide the country along people that have same value system. People that have same value system. The Oduduwa people, the Middle Belt, the Northerners, and the Southeastern and the Biafrans. That is the only solution. No matter how you try to run away from it, it will continue to haunt you. Thank you, and let's keep watching. Go to comment section and share your comments.